G'day, Louisa. You got no idea how many times I've tried to record this properly. Fingers crossed it works this time. Okay, first thing you would want to do with your kids, I reckon, is locate Erin Earth using the Aboriginal map of Australia. So if we just Google Aboriginal map of Australia, click on images, and then click, the trick here is to go tools, and then click on size, and then click large. And then what we're going to do here is probably just go to the first one and then click on it. And then what we want to do is click on it again and then click on it again. And we can see here Wagga Wagga within Wiradjuri country. So that's the first thing that I would do. The second thing I would do is to type in this Bowman. Actually, I'm just going to go back 1 second. So the point of that was to get the kids to identify that Erin Earth is on Wiradjuri country. The second thing I would do is get the kids to look up, to Google Bowman Axe Quarry. What we want them to do is to look at this PDF here from Wagga Wagga City Council. I'm secretly hoping that you'll think this is exciting because it's a document about an archaeological place which you can actually go to today by yourself if you wanted to. And it's just on the edge of town. And so, yeah, I'm hoping this is like history and geography coming together for you. But scroll down, get the kids to scroll down to the middle of this document. And what it has here is a map of our local area. And it also says, it sort of says the names of the different type of landscapes in our area. So, for example, the dark red sections there are hills, and the hills are called Duyul. The yellow area there is called the sloping country, and that's called Berber. This bit here is a bit hard to read, so it's all listed on the next page there. And Erin Earth is actually located just in this section here, where my pointer is, just under the G in Wagga Wagga. So we would say Erin Earth is on Berber. Okay, so the point of doing that activity is just to get the kids to realise that Wiradjuri culture exists as a living culture, and to use some Wiradjuri words. I suppose we also want the kids to get some literacy in Wiradjuri culture as well, and hope that brings respect to Wiradjuri culture as well. Okay, and by the way, obviously Indigenous studies is a cross-curriculum priority. So the next thing to do is to get the kids to open up yet another tab and then type in this thing called Google Earth. So it's like Google Maps, but it's more of a geography teacher one. So get them to click on Google Earth, and then you click Launch Earth, and it generally takes about a few seconds to load. Generally, kids' devices, it loads slower, but it eventually loads. And what do you know? It's come up on Erin Earth already. If it hasn't for you, just get them to type in Erin Earth into the search bar, and it'll come up, and it does this annoying angle thing and keeps spinning around. So what you do to stop that is you just click on the X, and hopefully it goes back to what it was. If it doesn't, and it sort of looks a bit weird like this, what you do is you get the kids to hold down the Shift key on their computer, and you can sort of drag it back to being flat. And if it's sort of like wonky like that, you can just hit the compass down the bottom, and it puts the red thing back to the top of the screen. That means north is at the top of the screen. So what we're trying to get the kids to do here is, if they're really good, they could actually tell that Erin Earth, which is just there, is located on that Berber country, because you can see that's hilly country, and then that's flat, and this yellow bit's sloping. And they'll be able to correlate that to this map here, because you can see Willans Hill, this is sloping country, and they would know that Central Wagga is flat anyway. But the real purpose of coming to this is to zoom in, and what we're going to do is we're going to, and by the way, I'm zooming in by rolling the mouse ball forwards and backwards. You can do it by just using the plus and the minus on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. We're going to hit the ruler over here, and what we're going to do is trace the edge of Erin Earth to figure out the size of Erin Earth. Probably goes down like that and then back to there. So the area of Erin Earth is approximately 5,000 meters squared. Then what we're going to do is get them to identify the latitude and longitude of Erin Earth. And if you zoom in, you just look down in that bottom right-hand corner of the screen. It says 35 degrees, 7 minutes, 14 seconds south, 147 degrees, 21 minutes, 50 seconds east. I don't think you really need to know in detail what that means. They just need to know that's how you find it. To be honest, you could probably just Google it. If a kid asks you, how do you figure that out, miss, what does that mean? If you don't know already, I would just say something like, look, we don't need to know that. And if you do want to find out, Louisa, feel free to just send me an email. I can send you another video about latitude and longitude, but yeah, I won't go into it now. I don't want to be too confusing. Also, we can find out the meters above sea level of Erin Earth by just looking down on the right-hand side there. Erin Earth is about 190 meters above sea level. And the other thing that we want to find out is probably just how far we are away from the river. So again, just hit the ruler there, and you can get the kids to click once at Erin Earth and then just measure to the closest part of the river. So that's 1,400 meters. What I would probably do is I would do it from one place to another and just show them how to do it, and then get them to do it at Erin Earth. So that way you're not giving out the answers straight away. So I think you can do those things with your kids before you come down. So just looking up the Bowman Axe Quarry PDF, using Google Earth, looking up the Aboriginal map of Australia. The last thing I'll do before the kids, before you come down, is if you can, check out Erin Earth's Instagram account, just to look for some photos and probably have a look at some of the comments that I've written. Check out our Facebook page, and then also check out our website as well. Because what that's going to do is help the kids develop questions to ask me when they're here. So their silver stop point is to investigate, I think, as environmental change at a local scale. I'm just going to double check exactly what that was. Sorry, bear with me. It was okay, it was investigate human-induced environmental changes across a range of scales. So what I think you should do with them is just get them to think of some questions to ask me while they're here. And that's the type of interview. They can interview me, and that's also a geographical skill they can be practicing, as well as taking the photos. So basically, I want them to ask questions about what the changes in Erin Earth were. Oh no, you can't see what I'm doing right now because I'm a weirdo. Sorry, you're still on the Erin Earth page window. That's okay. Yeah, basically, when they're here, we want them to ask questions about the changes at Erin Earth. And I think the way to do that is to probably expose them to those photos that I've sent through on the PDF, and then get them to look at our website, Instagram, and Facebook. And by doing those three things, I reckon you guys should be able to come up with some questions to ask me. So I think that would probably take up at least 1 or 2 lessons before you come down. Yeah, so see how you go, and look forward to seeing you. Hope that made sense. I hope I didn't waffle on too much. Okay, bye.